Good morning. Are you all right? Comfortable? Okay. What I am going to do today is beginning the final cycle of the final module of the course, the final cycle of presentations by both me and you. But before I do that, I like to play back some the videography of some presentations your friends and you made day before yesterday or yesterday. Okay. We have already seen some of our presentations and we have looked at the quality of slides, the correctness of pronunciation and stress. Let us look at some others. You may not be there, it may not be your video, but that does not matter. Look at it as if it will all yours. If you were to do the same thing, how differently you would like to do them, and pay particular attention to the pronunciation of some long words and keywords. Okay. I have just made some random selections. It does not mean that those selected ones are very bad or very good. They are just typical. I want to make some points. Is that all right? And then once we finish with that looking back, then I will tell you about the rest of the course and the class today. Is that all right? Are you with me? Okay. Relax, sit with your back to the desk, take notes, particularly when you hear the long word, pay attention to the pronunciation. That is all I want you to do, whether it has been done all right. Okay.
Which is only 40% pass. So, how to solve this problem? India spends only about 3.5% of its gross domestic product on.
Look at the slide. Do you have any comments? Are you here? The speaker, is the speaker here? Okay. Do you have any comments on the slide? Yes? No? Okay. Any others, please? I think it is good information highlighted, possibly the non highlighted ones have not been read. Do you think it will be easily read by the viewers? Say yes or no. You may be right, it is not necessarily the case that I am right. I personally feel that possibly you could have done without it, but does not matter. Okay. How about your pronunciation of words like, you said 40, what is the pronunciation of this, the word, and what did you say? Yeah, right. So, some of these minor things, extremely there, as I have been telling you, there are only a few words you have to relearn. Okay. Do that, please.
Education. For a nation whose 40% population is below the age of 18, I don't
spaces in Mumbai.
Okay. Otherwise, you did a good job in my opinion. Okay. It was a good presentation, particularly on a subject like literacy and illiteracy, which continues to be most amazingly a problem in India. Okay. Look at the next trend.
As low as rupees 200 to 300 rupees, from a cost as high as rupees 12,037 millions of rupees. And this shows an implementation of this.
Okay. Aparna, any comments you on yourself? Yeah, I think it was quite okay. Would you, do you have anybody else who has any comments? Yeah, I think Aparna has got the pauses, the groups all right, compared with the way she spoke the first time. It was like I told her yesterday, it was like Charminar Express going from Chennai Central to Secunderabad, right? But now it is considerably slowed down. Maybe you could be still better, more confident, maybe you could be more confident of your slides, so that you do not have to look at it again and again. Okay. Otherwise, I thought it was all right. The picture that you showed of the instrument is good enough.
Is CS10B004.
How? What is your roll number? Are you here? What is this? Okay, yeah, right. We discussed it yesterday, didn't we? What's your roll number? Yeah, it is CS. What is it? Yeah, the next.
10B004.
Yeah, okay. CES 10B004. In all groups, it is the second member, the final member. If you have a group of 3, numbers, 1, 2, 3, then 3 takes the main emphasis, the main stress. Okay, that is about the only thing. Otherwise, you gave a good presentation.
Today, I would like to present a managerial solution.
Got it? For the maximum loss in forest cover of over.
Are you here? Oh. Is our friend slow enough? We understand him because we are used to his accent, but internationally, I do not think it is good enough. You will have to, in standard format, when you make a presentation to your friends, to your colleagues from different parts of the world and from different disciplines, you will need to speak a little more slowly, perhaps.
281 square kilometers, as said by the India State of Forest Report 2011.
Did you get the phrase that this friend used? By India State of Forest. Look at this phrase. I selected this clipping for this particular reason. Does it make good grammatical sense to you? Does it or doesn't it? Why does it not? What is wrong? Something is missing here. Either it could have been India's. From is this speaker here? No. I have a feeling that there was something like this. Okay, or a dash, and because this speaker has spoken without pause here, there should have been a pause here. There should have been a pause here. Now, if you say by India State of Forest, then that little pause would make it more meaningful. Do you see the point? Say yes or no, please. Yes, do you see the point really? Yes. Or are you saying yes to please me? Sometimes these things really matter. Didn't I give you the example of look at this sentence? What is the meaning of this sentence? Pause is extremely significant in right places. What's the meaning of this sentence? Does it have one meaning or two meanings? What are those?
A woman without a man is nothing.
Okay.
A woman without her man is nothing.
Okay. So they are significant, right? Remember the latter. A woman without her man is nothing, right? But most of us behave like a woman without her man is nothing. That is very incorrect. That is terribly wrong attitude. So, pauses can be extremely important. They can cause confusion, they can cause misunderstanding, they can break friendships, they can also break marriages now. Okay? Imagine some husband today speaking in this manner. Okay? So, that is the mistake that has been made here. Are you with me? I am, once again I am belaboring, overemphasizing a very small point, but a good machine has to be perfect in all parts, all its nuts, all its bolts must be in its place, must be comfortably in its place. Okay. So, that is why, but take this into, otherwise this friend made a very good presentation, he spoke really well. I think he should go get into politics too.
Relief Patron festival where there is a lot of wastage of electricity due to the loud speakers, and the electricity is also wasted due to our a very good one.
That was very illustrative, that this the pictures that our friend put in, we leave computers on, we leave water running, nothing, the cliche in newspaper, in cliche in journalism is that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So, if you, that is why I told you, you can bring a photograph in your presentation. I allow you 3 slides, one of them can be photograph. This was my intention, that your problem would be illustrated with the help of a photograph, and here this speaker has done a good job. Okay, let us look at the next.
Today, I would like to discuss about reduction of electricity.
What is the pronunciation of? Today. Okay, that is not important anyway, because it is hardly heard. Look at other things.
Wastage in hostels of our institute. I mean 0.
That slide, I do not want to waste time bringing it back. That slide was, didn't it have a little too much? Okay, you could pay attention to. Look at our next friend Karthik, are you here? Right. I have no complaints against the way you spoke, but I have complaints against the subject. Either you could have taken something more specific, more local. Okay. Have you seen a child marriage? Okay, you could have talked about that.
Actually, I kind of prepared for that, but in a tense mode, I just skipped that thing.
Okay, don't worry. Otherwise, your photographs are, but it is such a huge subject that in 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, you can't tell much about it. Okay. You could have taken some aspect of, possibly cut it down to, focused it to, within the experience, your own experience, and within the experience of your listeners. Otherwise, it becomes too big, too huge a bite.
As the population increases, wastage is also increasing, and usage as well as wastage is increasing.
Look at the slides once again. A lot of useful information, maybe they could have gone to 2 slides, you could have done some editing, correct. Otherwise, you how many seconds would you need to read it all? Just time it. Let us look at our watch. Begin reading it now. Gokul, begin reading it now. No, silently please. Okay. Arun, how many seconds? Is almost 30 seconds, 30-40 seconds in a 90-minute presentation, and the information is useful. You could highlight it, you could say, okay, please look at the pie chart and look at the first 40%, then you are able to draw the attention. Remember, all of these things are an aid. You cannot transmit engineering drawing extremely well through oral medium. So, visual medium is required for transmitting data, drawing, chart, titles, numbers, etc. But then you have the principle of yesterday I said this word. Can you complete what I wrote yesterday? Minimum essential. Yeah. Give only as much as is important and as is essential, but give all of what is essential. Okay? If you keep that principle in mind, you will have much better presentations, right?
Include 70% of kitchen waste and 30% of other memories double.
The pronunciation of the word PERCENT. Yeah, once again, my friend has not done the practice.
10 presentation I taught.
Look at this superscript. Are you here? Is the speaker here? No. Can you read this superscript? Arun? Siddharth, Kalpesh, can you read this? Karthik, can you read the superscript? Yes or no?
Yes,
read
can
it
you-
aloud to us, please.
Measures to control location of industries by development industrial townships.
By development, go slow, carefully. I want the camera to pick up your voice so that others can understand it through you. Come again, please.
Measures to control location of industries by developing industrial townships, by granting concessions, by imposing restriction, develop buffer zones between industrial area and other urban areas,
And the one below?
treatment of industrial waste, chlorination, dewatering and drying, filtration, screening, sedimentation, spray irrigation, vacuum filtration.
Okay. Would it be better this way or would it be better, separately and a slide by itself? Possibly, but this is a matter of opinion. I had difficulty reading it and maybe those sitting here, color contrast and yeah, right. Maybe these things could have been spoken. You don't have to write everything on the slide. Let's get out of the mindset that all our words must be there. Only minimum possible. If you want to emphasize the point of garbage or the clean water not being available, then say that. And other things could have been said. What Karthik read just now could have been better said orally. No need for it to be written there. It is an extra burden that the presenter and the presentation is carrying. Okay? But maybe I am wrong, maybe you are right.
And what can we do about it?
Where are you? Last time also you spoke very rapidly, didn't you? Yeah, you can finish your slides, but people won't understand. So, what is more important? Finishing your slide or being understood? You are quite truly, and you don't finish your slide, you complete your slides. But there is a difference between finish and complete. Okay. You wanted to say all that you had wanted to, but what is more important? Being understood. Okay. So, ask yourself how much is really important for me and say only as much as is important for you. Otherwise, it is all the effort wasted.
General Championship. All the hostels can compete on a monthly basis, and the hostel which records the map.
And for 90 seconds, you took 3 or 4 problems which will require at least 10 years each. Okay. Where is the problem of brain drain now? It was a problem when we had restricted economies. Now that the entire world behaves like one market, one economy, people go and come freely, they get in India salaries that they would have got in the US or that they would have got in Vietnam, you know. Okay. Moreover, if supposing that you are right, you have spoken about waste disposal, brain drain, then some other problem also, right? What is the third problem you spoke about? Suicide. You see, that itself requires. So, now you must have. When did you begin preparing? Okay, don't answer that question. Okay, you could, if you have, you know, in the next cycle, which is going to be the final and the most important. If you have any confusion, I am not talking only to you. Pardon me if I am embarrassing you. Okay, it could be any one of us, right? Talk to me if you have difficulty cutting down on your topic, only so much, not much more. Okay. Here our friend has very good intention. You see, all of these problems confront us, but can we talk about all of them in 90 seconds?
Stress. The ratio of adult males to adult females is
Sorry, how can I bring it back? I want to bring it back.
1:1.6.
Are you here, the speaker? Right. So, it's a good presentation. You really gave a good presentation. No, no, yeah, right, yeah. Okay. You know, the point, the problem that you took, the analysis, the quantification that you attempted was really, maybe you could have been a little slower, but fine, you know. What is this man doing over there? Okay, that was not very clear to me. Maybe it was clear to you.
The ratio of
If you know, this wonderful statistics, you could have given us some time and drawn attention to one or two of them. Okay.
adult males to adult females is 1:1.6. This demography predicts an increase in the
What is the pronunciation of this word? It is demography. What is it?
Demography.
You should have checked. Did you check? Why didn't you? You see, this is the difference. Please, it has nothing to do with spoken English. Can I have your total attention for a minute? God has given us all, or nature has given us all, what we loosely call common sense. Common sense tells you, don't do this or do this, but I am not speaking only to you. What's your name? Yeah, Darshan, not only to you. It applies to all of us, even to me. You know, this morning I was late. I got up and began looking at some unnecessary paper. Something inside me was telling me, Shirish, you have a class at 9 o'clock. Get up and get ready. And I said, okay, fine. Wait a minute, you know, I'll do it. In the process, I was 3 minutes late in the class. Does it not happen with all of us? Common sense, conscience inside tells us, okay, do this, don't do this, but we either shut it down and say, hey, keep quiet, okay, or we ignore it, go on speaking, I will do what I like to. Your conscience also told you, check this word, am I right? But we say, how does it matter, one word, okay. Remember, perfection, a good job, a perfect job, an excellent job is different from an ordinary job in only this respect. If you are a good worker, keep it for the rest of your life. A good worker has no boundaries, not that you are a good father, but bad worker. A good worker, good father, good son, good daughter, good husband, good wife, good citizen, you know. More importantly, you will listen to your conscience. Okay. In this case, otherwise, you know, I am going to keep your presentation and I am going to show it to future batches here and wherever else I speak, that look, this is how a presentation ought to go, but for one or two minor things like that. Is that okay? Are we still friends? Okay, lovely.
numbers. A troop of 30 monkeys require 50 hectares.
Look at your color, the choice of your, the marvelous, it's a wonderful painting. But is it easy for you to read, black on dark blue? Can you? Aman, can you read what is been written in dark blue? Who can? Karthik, can you try once again? Help our friend. Let our friend speak. Okay? Darshan, why don't you speak? Why don't you tell us?
First one is Kaveri and Narmada Hostel.
Go slowly. Yes.
Electrical engineering, administration work, residential areas in IIT Madras,
IIT Madras.
AT Madras, Adyar Avenue and Delhi Avenue, nursery and warden quarters.
Okay, lovely. Suppose you had given it on white, black on white, it would be a powerful slide. You have wonderful statistics. Nothing can beat it. It speaks for itself. You could just have presented it and taken your seat. Remember it next time, okay? Right?
Of land, which means
Arun.
whenever a tree is cut down, planting 2 more trees in the same.
Okay, Arun. Are you here? When did you choose this topic? 2 seconds before you got up to speak? When did you decide on this topic? Be honest, there is no punishment.
Before second presentation, like
1 month ago.
for same
And the
topic
work
and
on
the
it?
solution, like deforestation.
Listen to yourself.
Place. This will help in preventing global warming. Yes, in preventing deforestation, Chipko movement, which is led by a follower of Mahatma Gandhi.
Which is led by a follower of Mahatma Gandhi. Okay.
Sundarlal Bahuguna.
What is the point Arun is making? Everyone other than Arun, please answer this question. What point is he making with deforestation? Come to it, let us try. Correct. That is what perhaps he intends to say. Is that what you intended to say? Does it come clearly to? You have about 20 friends sitting here, only 2 people. Gondar, I understand what you have tried to say. Is this what you want? Yes or no? Arun?
No.
No. Clearly, your presentation has no focus. Why did you show those logs? Which company plants 2 trees for 1 tree? You could have taken one specific company.
Thank you.
You have, actually, I should say big thank you to you. Okay? You had nothing, you had no focus. The point I am making is, you may have good pronunciation, you may have good equipment, tools. You see, what you are using here today is the state of the art, be in Harvard, be in MIT, be in IIT, this is what you are using. But even then, your presentation may not be as effective as it ought to be, as it could be, because you lack in preparation. There is no substitute. Write it somewhere here, write it on the wall of your hostel room. There is no substitution, no substitute for preparation, for good preparation, I would say, paying attention to all the details. Right, Arun? Next time we will have a better presentation.
Okay. And my roll number is BT10.
Is it the same photograph everyone has used? I don't mind, I mean, why reinvent the wheel? Whose presentation is this? Okay, tell the speaker that I had this question, Rohan, right?
B0
36. Today I am going to present before you all a very common problem and what I consider an optimum solution to that problem. We all live in hostels named after mighty rivers, but we fail to realize that our water supply is not endless, unlike that of the rivers.
Any comments? See, if there is nothing adverse, say it is good. Either make some comment. I have brought it for your comments, not mine. I want you to apply the critical parameters. What do you think? Did Rohan do a good job, or he did, or he didn't? Come on, gather some courage. What do you think? Okay. He could have shaved. Okay. Possibly, yes. He looks like the secretary of Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden gang. Okay. I also felt so. Good point. You see, all his tie and shirt are wasted. Okay. Next, any other comment?
Water supply to rivers is not infinite.
Come again?
Water supply to rivers is also not
Go
unlimited.
slow. Come again.
Water supply to rivers is not unlimited.
Water supply to rivers is not
Unlimited.
unlimited. Yes, quite true. That's a mistake in fact. That's a mistake in fact. Yeah, but maybe he is speaking rhetorically as a matter of figure of speech. Okay. I thought it was a good presentation on the whole. He made some good points. His pronunciation, pauses, tempo, they are fine. Okay.
Daily, a lot of water is wasted in activities like washing, brushing.
What is the pronunciation of? Sorry, pronunciation itself is a big word. What is the pronunciation of this word? Activity. It is not activity. It is not activity. What is it? Activity. This is stressed. What is it? Activity.
Shaving, just by keeping the tap running on and on.
What do you think of this diagram? Once again, be as critical and as kind. You do not necessarily have to find a fault. If I am giving you that impression, I am terribly sorry. Okay, I am not asking you find some fault somehow, not really. If you like it, say you like it. If you do not like it, tell me why you do not like it. You like much of it, you do not like a little of it, that is also very fine. Okay. What do you think of this group of? Yes, good diagram, good flow chart. Okay. But maybe some diagrams, some lines could have been bolder, some font. Which font can't you, which font is difficult to read? On the left, on the one inside, on the left top corner, right, on my left. All the pictures. Those outside are okay, which means it is just a cut, copy, paste from somewhere, right? Okay, avoid that.
This problem can be eradicated by using a foot operated tap. The design is ridiculously simple. A flush tank float valve is attached to a L clamp. The float valve is replaced by a foot pedal. The existing inlet pipe of the tap is connected to the inlet valve of the foot tap, and the outlet valve of the tap is connected to the tap itself. The tap is always kept open and the control is at your feet. The cost of this:
good eye contact, good pronunciation, good pauses, maybe a little better management of the slides. It would be the ideal presentation that I am looking for. Okay.
Design is around rupees 300, which is a very cheap price to pay in exchange of precious water. Thus, my friends, saving water is in our hands, or rather,
how do you like cartoons in presentations? What is your opinion, good or bad? Yeah, it gives you a break from the monotony. Maybe when you come in the group of 40 speakers, 30 speakers, everybody talking about the same subject, then even the best of speakers face the problem of listener monotony, listener fatigue. Listener is tired. How much information can you give the listener in the short span of time? Then some humor, either in the verbal form through words, or in the visual form through pictures, or some other kind of commercial break or entertainment. And if you can bring it in part of your presentation, then that is good. I thought this was good. Okay.
in our feet. Thank you.
I think we will stop here now. I have not been able to look at, I have looked at them all, but I have not brought them all because, not because they are not important, they are also important, but because I have only limited time. If any one of you is interested in sitting with me, looking at your presentation, you are most welcome. Yesterday, some students came and they sat with me, and there were 4 or 5 of us. We discussed each other's, one another's presentations, and that was fine. So, I invite you also to my room, but if you want to make a copy of your presentations, approach Santosh, he will give you a copy. Bring your pen drive, okay, and see over the last 3 presentations, have you changed, okay, and those 3 presentations will show that to you. Do you have any questions now? Okay. Anything you want to say, any other general comments? Aman, Karthik, Kalpesh, Siddhesh, Darshan, Gokul, Aparna, any comments please? Arun? Okay. Right. Let us talk about the final presentation now. Please make a note. In the final presentation, I want you to talk about something which has I want you to talk about something which has a diagram or a drawing or a flow chart, some stuff from your laboratory. Okay. It could also be from the book, but laboratory related book, lab related, something which has a diagram or a drawing or a flow chart, with labels. This part is that, that part is this. Okay. Parts named. Okay. Number 2, well, I have already said it, but to help you understand it clearly, it is not just you can say this is a diagram. Of course, this is a diagram, but name its parts. It has 4 arms, okay, 2 going horizontally from left to right, and there are 2 vertical ones where one goes from the bottom to the top and the other comes from top to the bottom. So, that becomes a flow chart. Okay. So, what I have and then I want these parts to be named. Okay. So, maybe you can say this is upward flow, you can say therefore, this is what is this going to be? Downward flow. Come again, ward. Once again, what is this?
Upward flow.
And this will be
Downward.
So, even if it is a very simple diagram, name its parts. Okay. So, your next presentation ought to have a diagram, parts 3, it should describe a process. Even if it is boiling water, it is a process. You take about 500 cc or 500 milliliters of water in a pan, you put it on the stove, then you switch the stove on, you allow it to boil at about 100 degrees, you allow it to boil for some time. When it comes to about 100 degrees, it boils. Okay, let it be on the stove for some time, and when it comes to about 100 degrees Celsius, the water boils. What I have done is I have described a process of boiling water or boiling milk. How do we boil milk, Arun? Do you know how to boil milk? One is tell your mother, okay, and the milk is boiled, or like most men do, tell their wives and the milk is boiled. But in your generation, I do not think that luxury will be there. Your wife will tell you to boil the milk, right, which is fine, we owe it to her. Go slowly, you are being recorded. Okay? Take a vessel. How do you pour milk from where? See that. Take the milk sachet or packet. How do you cut it? No, it won't be endless. That is where engineers come in. You see, look at your own pride. Why is an engineer valuable to the society? The engineer can describe, leaving nothing to imagination, a minutest of the processes. That is why you are able to land a rocket on the moon, or you are able to send messages through computers. There is actually, if you go for researches in mathematics, they have a problem called milk pouring problem. Have you heard of it? You can exactly predict how many seconds it would take you to pour milk from a packet into the vessel. A simple mathematical calculation. The amount of, the extent of cut you make and the angle at which you pour will decide the quantity of milk. Isn't it simple? So, come again, come, let us help. Gokul, would you like to try again, or would you like somebody else to try? Please stand up this time. Let the camera take, you, if I were making a film, you would be the hero. Okay? Yeah.
First take a milk sachet, cut it using a scissors.
A pair of scissors. Yeah, it is available. They are available to you. Yes.
Cut it using a scissors, pour it in a vessel, keep the vessel on the stove, wait for 2-3 minutes.
You don't like this?
What do you call this?
Okay. The stove has to be lighted or ignited or switched on. Yeah, right. Okay.
So then, how will I explain that?
The milk is boiled. Take it off and drink it.
There will be a kind of
Foam.
The milk, okay. The boiling milk, the volume will start expanding. Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you. Please sit down. Okay. It is easy to laugh at others. Let's take some process. Can you peel a banana? Give me the process. Suppose you are teaching a child how to peel a banana. Who would like to do it? I want to see, okay, please.
Pick a banana, catch it at one of the corners.
No, no, catch it again with left or right hand, with your fingers or in your elbow.
Catch it with your left hand at the bottom corner. Break the top tip and start peeling one. There are 4 sides for it. 4.
Please allow our friend to complete. Okay? Yeah, go on.
Generally, it has 4 sides. Peel each side one by downward action, and the bananas peel.
Correct. Okay. Last one final call. Thank you very much. Suppose I do not know how to reach your room, and I am just a robot. Tell me how I can reach your room in the hostel. Tell me, who can do that? Try. I am giving you a complex problem now. Not boiling milk, neither peeling banana. Send a robot to your room, just to your room. Who would like to do that? Okay?
Open students portal, type my name, find my room number, go to CCW, find a map of IIT, locate my hostel.
Go slowly, yes.
Come to the entrance of my hostel.
Yes.
Then ask the location of my room from the guard.
How to locate CCW?
How to locate CCW?
Find a map of IIT Madras on internet. Locate CCW.
Directly locate hostel.
Locate the hostel. Come to the hostel entrance. Ask the guard the location of the room. Follow the directions given and knock on the room.
Come to the internet.
Lovely. Okay. You see, once again, pardon me. I am embarrassing you. I am forcing you to make a complex presentation without much thought. This is what I want you to do. Let there be a process, and there, because it's a process, right next it has a sequence. Thank you, Kalvi. You did a good job. Okay? Yeah, right. Okay? Think through. Take a very simple problem. It could be from your lab, something you have done. I think you guys do physics and chemistry for every semester, don't you? Is not so. By now, how many courses have you done in physics or in chemistry? Have you done anything in the lab? Okay, so you can talk about one of those things, okay, or something else, or an engineering object like a mobile phone or like a fountain pen, like a pen. This is also an engineering product. It has parts, but give me its diagram, name the parts, and tell me how it works. Okay. So, for your next presentation, I want you to talk about a technical subject which meets these 4 requirements. It has a diagram, it has parts, parts are named, it describes a process, and because it is a process, it has a sequence, first, next, finally. Okay. The presentations will begin on the 11th of April and will go on 11, 12, 13. You will have 110 seconds this time to make this presentation, 10 seconds more than last time, and everybody must be ready on the 11th. I do not know who I will call, I will manage it myself. I want you to come in best of your dress with shave and all that. Men, please wear ties. Okay? If you do not have a tie, take it from me, right. I will be delighted to lend it to you and get rid of one. Okay? Right. So, please do come in formal dress. If you have any more questions, ask me. I am also going to give you a mail, but make a note, 11th of April, Wednesday, presentations begin. I call your name, you miss it and you miss it. Any questions? Thank you. Have a good day.